Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How you all doing? Welcome back to some more Medieval Kingdoms Total War 1212 AD campaign. We're back on Total War Attila, and we're going to be playing as the Kingdom of Georgia here today. The objective of today's video is to survive as one of the last bastions of Orthodox Christianity in the Far East, and the challenge is to take the city of Constantinople. Okay guys, welcome to the campaign map. Welcome to Georgia. Well, not that Georgia, the other Georgia over in the Far East. So, let's see what we're working with. We currently have 3 territories under our control and a couple of vassals. So we want to try and hold and sort of forge a little kingdom here in the Caucasus, and we'll see what we're working with. So, we've got a military alliance with Trebizond, and we have a vassal ship with the Alans and the some easterners to the west here in east here in Baku. So let's get some spearmen up. So we've got one full stack in the south and then another in our capital. So we've got the Ayubids to the south. We could focus upon them, but I think I want to probably go towards the Turks. I do want to take and carve out a large chunk of Western Anatolia. I think that's sort of the best way to sort of push and rush. And there might be some like sort of small border kingdoms here we can look to go against. Okay, tech-wise, let's go into Civic. That's probably... yeah, because sanitation was the major problem previously, but maybe just going with Craftsman's Guild and bureaucratic stuff there as well. Decisions: found an empire. We need 18 regions. The Empire of Georgia, we could do that, but it's not a part of my objectives or challenges. So we've got the king here, and he has a sister who we can hopefully marry off, but we're Orthodox Christianity. We can convert if we wanted to. Alrighty, so I've mustered up the 2 armies. We're going to be pushing eastward here. Getting all my directions wrong, I'm misspeaking. We're going to be pushing against the Ata Begate, I think that's how you say them, against Uzbek, and they have 2 territories here. So we'll go to war against them. They're an eastern faction. We'll bring in our allies Trebizond. So this will be our first major fight. So we'll push in. They have 2 territories. We want to try and expand. I want to try and get you married off as well, but there's so many religious tensions over here, so we're gonna have to just like the osmosis is gonna really sort of ruin us. So it's gonna take us quite time to convert, replenish, and repair, and continue to go. Now, for some reason, our faction leader isn't commanding this army. I don't know why. Does that normally happen, where the faction leader doesn't command the armies? I don't want it to nuke the movement, so I'll siege the city, and we'll bring you in. But it's good to be back on 1212 AD. It's been a while, and I've been wanting to play as Georgia for quite some time. It's sort of a cool and unique starting position, surrounded by enemies. We are like the furthest east Orthodox faction there is. We have very few allies, if any, and an abundance of enemies. Even Trebizond isn't that close to us, relatively, but we'll siege out this city, and we'll try and go after their other one here as well. We could maybe push to Van. Okay, we've been intercepted here, and we could retreat to a better spot, but I'm actually kind of tempted to play it. I think we'll retreat because it's 600 sway. But they've come out, they've actually pushed around us there. We are using the Medieval Kingdoms 1212 AD mod, and we are using the castle mod as well on the outskirts. So we'll take the city with impunity, only losing 500, and yeah, there's no point in occupying. We might as well loot and occupy because we're going to break it down anyway, and stuff isn't regional now in 1212 AD, it's just city base. So we'll rally up, and I'll try and find and intercept that army again. Unless they attack us, which they could very well do. But we've taken our first piece of territory for Georgia. Okay, I think that army's pushed further back south, so we'll give chase. Okay, yeah, so Baku's our allies. Yeah, so we've got a couple of allies here. Hopefully they don't betray me, though. That's the only thing. We're sort of forced subjugation of them. We're not a part of the same religious or culture group, so that can always be a problem with vassals. And they're pushed further south, okay. And they're actually sitting inside the settlement, so we're going to have to siege them out. Alright, let's move the King of Georgia in. Oh, they actually attacked us anyway, during the end turn phase. Alright, sweet. We'll fight this one on the battlefield here today. We are slightly outnumbered by about 1,000. Alrighty guys, welcome to the battle map. Let's get stuck into it. Our first battle of the Georgia series. 4 units of medium swords, 2 heavies, 3 light spears, 4 archers, and a whopping 6 units of cavalry. We formed up in a shield wall formation, and Georgia's units-wise are obviously very heavily Orthodox inspired, similar to the Byzantine's Empire of Nicaea military forces, and then obviously some Eastern influences here and there. So front line of spears and shield wall, just trying to match theirs. It's slightly thin, but we'll be right. So there's the King of Georgia. Yeah, my front line could be a little bit thicker, but we're just outnumbered by 1.3k, so it's quite a bit. We need to match them. But here are the Easterners looking to push up. I probably should play some more Eastern factions because they look so beautiful and colourful. They look great because a lot of them are quite unique to the specific faction. So the problem is, do we allow them to rally up or not? I don't think so. So we'll give chase. On the left and right flank, we'll get the cavalry. Look, if we manage to catch someone here, it'll be a full charge, but I'm quite happy to be a bit of a bluff charge. So looking at there, they've got cavalry, mostly skirmishers on the left and right. Not too much heavy cavalry, so we'll charge in with our cavalry. It's going to be a close one because we're definitely not favoured to win, but I like it when I'm not favoured to win in battles. Probably only 40% to 30 in our favour. So we'll see how they react. Obviously skirmishers, we'll try and focus. If we somehow hit them flat-footed, that'd be fine. You never know, we might be able to catch some of their skirmishers that are a little bit more heavily minded. So see what we can pick. Look, that guy's come way too close. He can come in. We can find that. But the Georgia heavy cavalry is clashing against theirs. So we've managed to pin down their right flank. If we can disrupt and maybe sort of kind of cause a charge. Look at the mountain in the background there, looming over the battlefield. You forget how sort of cold and mountainous this part of the world is. Our cavalry is doing a tremendous job here in disrupting the enemy front lines. And they have been taking some casualties, but they seem to be holding. We've lost 100, but we've managed to disrupt a couple hundred of theirs. That's what basically we're doing. They might be completely wiped out, but we can get more, but we're just sort of running ragged. Our infantry are the ones that are going to get absolutely battered in this. Because if they sat back and hit us with skirmishers, that's the major problem we're going to be facing. But so far, the battle, the tide is turning for Georgia. God bless Georgia. I don't know why they are both called Georgia. Like, what does that actually mean? Like, what's the naming sort of philosophy on it, I guess? Okay, some cheeky cav trying to swing around us here, while some of their spearmen have interlocked with our far right side. Our archers are currently trading. Perfect, good. Ours are quite heavily armoured as well, so they can tank it a bit. But most of my cavalry now has been utterly destroyed. Oh, they can't even make the front line. Perfect, that's what I want. Looks like a full-on cavalry charge is going to come in here, though. Hold, man! Yeah, that's a little bit of a problem when they're that thin. Okay. Even though we're wavering a little bit, I think we're going to win this here today. We've broken away from our standard front line and enveloping and flanking where we can. You're sitting idly by, so you can give chase for those skirmishes. But it looks like we're going to win a good victory here today for Georgia. God wills it. Close victory, apparently. That's right. I'll take that as a first result. 841, outnumbered by 1.3k, 2.86. Cavalry did super well. Same with archers and our infantry. Their skirmishes really led for the enemy opposition. But we should be able to eliminate these guys here. We'll take on the replenishment and we'll take the city. Getting a copper supply by the look of it. Oh yeah, I'm surprised the Ayyubids have van. Like, why are they so far in the north? I don't particularly want to go to war with them, because that can be a bit of a pain, but we'll see how we go. I think we may be better off fighting the Turks, especially if Trebizond's at war with them. We'll just have to see, look. We'll see what Trebizond's at war with, and we'll come in and help. So we'll get the king to run down the remaining stragglers here. Actually, might need reinforcements. That balance of power really is in my favour. So what I'll do is I'll stop the garrison in the city coming out. Then I'll attack again. Yeah, there we go. So he's fled. So the balance of power is massively in my favour. We'll give chase here. Nice little sea here. Looks like a little sort of oasis. What is this sea? It looks quite cool. Just want to sort of jump in and swim. It's getting really hot in Australia now. You just lounge around and just it gets way too hot. Just feel like swimming all the damn time. Okay. So let's try and take Tab Razi. I think that's how you say it. I don't even know how to pronounce half of these names. Anyway, we've won our first major war. And we've managed to bring 2 eastern territories into the Georgia fold. Very nice. Okay, so I've pushed a full stack to the Sultanate of Rum territory, as we can move through Trebizond and Sinop. Trebizond's actually at war with the Turks. If they're at war with the Ayyubids, I would have gone against them, but we're going to actually declare war upon the Turks, and we'll make our way westward as much as we can. Like I said, the challenge of today's video is to take Constantinople for Georgia, as orthodoxy, an orthodox king must rule Constantinople, because the Latins are currently inside. That's the challenge, carving our way and making our way over there, which will take a little bit. Okay, so looks like no reinforcements are coming westward from Ankara to come and assist, so we'll be able to take this territory here. But man, oh man, I've had to keep my other army back because the religious problems are so like annoying. The especially on this difficulty, the unrest penalties are kind of harsh. And my ally has declared war upon me. Shah Hadum. Ah, oh, great. Shiravan. Alright, so we have to double back now and deal with them. That's typical. But yeah, I'm actually like struggling with public order. It's mostly just due to not everyone is orthodoxy, so they don't want peace. Oh, that's annoying. Well, we'll send this army north to Baku. I think Baku's like on that little peninsula. I don't think it's actually that centered there in the city. Oh well, so be it. We'll have to deal with that now. Okay, so looks like Genghis Khan's come down here, or the Golden Horde, or whatever it is. So we're gonna have to watch out for them as well. So we can't even take Baku. Maybe if that army comes down, we can deal with it. Rom want peace. I might actually accept that because we need to double back. Oh, I started off with a war against the Turks, and then we got betrayed from our allies. Typical. We do have a defensive alliance with the Principality of Antioch now, so hopefully that's the first of many more to come. Okay, so we should be able to take Baku now. But Yeah, I don't know where their other army went. They attacked us. Oh, what? The balance of power was more in my favour. Oh, alright. Close defeat. We'll just have to wait for the king to get back here. Oh, that's annoying. We should have won that. I guess they were just trash units, and my war weariness has increased. Fantastic. Oh, this is a bit of a challenge, this Georgia series. Yeah, the main problem I'm seeing is public order. Just trying to hold this territory. Very annoying. Alright, let's try and run down this army here. I thought I'd be able to sort of forge an orthodoxy kingdom a lot easier. Like, you're nearly better off converting if you really want to a different religion. Alright, we should be able to take Baku now. After the defeat trying to take it. The kings had to come all the way back. Then he has to go all the way back westward to start off another war against the Turks, which will probably be 10 turns, so we won't get any too bad public order issues. Alright, we'll bring Baku into the fold. That's why you can never trust vassals. Okay, so I've pushed westward now. I've skipped a little bit ahead. It's 1243 AD. We're 30 years or so into the campaign, and we're going to try and push for Ankara. We're currently strength ranked 7, and our king is 53 years of age. I have an alliance with the Kingdom of Jerusalem now, and the Sultanate of Rum has been... The Turks have been pinned down by Trebizond and Turkish pretenders and Cilicia and Nicaea, I think. So we'll join their war and hopefully get a little bit of a payment. But yeah, public order wise, I've had to keep a lot of military forces further back. If you guys have played as Georgia, let me know. If you had massive problems with... Yeah, I think you sort of struggle if you're like... Ever not like a... If you're not a Catholic faction, you can struggle in this mod. Okay, the siege equipment's now being built in Ankara, but no armies being pushed up. But I just feel like the Turks is getting smacked. Oh, Nicaea's taken Sinop as well. Okay, so maybe they're being influential in this. Anyway, we'll push and take Ankara. We will siege and play a battle against the Turks in Iconium if no one comes out. But we'll auto-resolve this one. And Ankara, the Turkish city, is going to fall to the Georgians. Who would have thought? Yeah, but they're a little bit orthodoxy, which is good. Yeah, it's just because of the bordering influences. Great. So our allies have declared war upon Nicaea. They could bring in Bulgaria, which is annoying, but we'll enter the war. Okay, so now we're at war with the Byzantines. They're sort of my orthodox kin. I don't particularly want a war with them, so I am happy for peace if it gets offered. If they controlled Constantinople, that's a different thing, but that's still under the control of the Latin Empire. Anyway, we should be able to put the final nail in the Turks here, and we'll build some siege equipment. We'll play this one because the Turkish Sultan is inside. Okay, the siege equipment's been built. Let's play the siege of Iconium. That's just how it is sometimes. You don't actually see any army of the Turks. I would have rather played a field battle than actually having to siege and siege out and play this siege, but so be it. Strength ranked 5 now, and we've carved out a little bit of a decent kingdom for Georgia. So once we take this Turkish lands, we'll be able to use that as a bit of a leapfrog into Constantinople. I want to try and make peace with the Byzantines where we can. Anyway, let's get stuck into the siege against the Turks. Alright, we're slowly but surely pushing up to try and take Iconium. 2 battering rams, 7 ladders, gold, and silver chevron now. The amount of rebellions we've had to put down in this series. We're nearly 50 turns in, and we haven't taken as much as I would have liked. 50 years into the campaign as well. I'm actually kind of blown away. Have you guys played as Georgia had such problems with religious unrest? Because the Catholic factions are just so strong, because you don't even have to worry about unreligious public order. You can just sort of easily expand and conquer in Western Europe. And also, the religious buildings have military units tied in, so at the moment, in my opinion, the Catholic factions are far more powerful than their Orthodox brethren, and I don't know if that's overly balanced out. Anyway, our siege equipment's slowly but surely pushing up, and the Georgia archers are going to try and trade with them. We'll pull them up on a loose formation. We need our infantry to get into the city and do most of the work, so we'll try and get those arrow towers to try and hit my skirmishers, as although they're not effective, probably arcing their shots up over the walls here and putting too much damage down, they're really just taking that direct fire away from my infantry. The Turks are holding out here with the Sultan. It's going to be a bloody and epic siege that we can see from the look of it. And our siege equipment is slowly but surely making their way up. But this is the Turks' last stand. Once we get rid of them, they're done and dusted. Heyo, victory! We've managed to have a decisive victory, only losing 600, and they lost 1.3. We did outnumber them quite significantly. And the Georgian king is a 7-star general now. Iconium is under our control. We'll replenish, repair, and convert where we can. Also the buildings as well, we have to break down, we can't use them. They can be quite expensive. That's like 5k to convert a main building, because that's also annoying as well. That takes a little bit of time. Okay, peace please. So it's going to be a high there. Now with the Turks destroyed, we're only at war with the Byzantines. Can you just give me a little bit of cash money? Only 1,000. We'll take that. Okay, guys, welcome to the top of the term. It's 1250 AD. We've managed to secure the east, get rid of the Turks, and now we're going to push for the challenge of today's video and take the city of Constantinople. We're strength ranked 4. Our king's 60 years of age, and let's bring back orthodoxy rule to Constantinople. They have a lot of allies. And some of them stayed with them. So, good. Principality of Antioch, Jerusalem back to me. They did bring in Venice. Alright. We only can bring in 1 siege equipment at a time. Let's bring siege towers in. That'll be quite cool. Trying to attack them. But I can't wait to see what the walls look like in Constantinople. Okay, it's winter now. 1251. The siege equipment is built. And typically, for some reason, the army ran out because they thought they were going to lose. But there's still a decent garrison inside that we have to deal with. We outnumber them by 1,000. But we have the siege of Constantinople here today. And we're going to bring back orthodoxy rule to the city and avenge the crusade, let's say. Okay. So this can be a little bit tricky because we've only got 2 siege towers. I probably should have gone with the ladders because, like, size-wise, sometimes they can get quite easily engulfed by arrow towers, and you do get more of them, but I just thought, like, the cool look of a Georgian siege tower. Archers pushing up. We don't have any battering rams, so how we're going to get inside is we're going to have to use swordsmen to try and essentially break and cut down the gate, which you can do in Total War Attila. I kind of like the Torches of Rome too. A lot of the Axemen and Viking factions do quite well of carving down enemy gates, but the Catholic Latin garrison is holding off the Orthodoxy horde for now. This will take a little bit of a time and a while to bring down the gate, but so be it. Once they cluster in there, they should be able to avoid the arrow fire. Okay, you guys should be able to get some angles here now. Make sure to arc your shot up and over the walls. And fire at will at individual targets, please. Now, there's like a moat on the outside of the city, so that's also annoying. They can really funnel this siege tower through. So what I've gone and done is we're bringing this one over here. But anyway, here's the Georgian siege tower pushing up. Men preparing to go through the breach. Okay, so we're inside the city now. We're favoured to win this one. But our units aren't amazing. Like experience and chevron rise, we're still sort of rocking with the first here, because it's actually a lot of an investment, like military wise. Usually I rely on dismounted heavy knight and crusader spam, but for the easterners it's a little bit different. But we've managed to contest the gateway now, and we're slowly but surely surging in. My archers have done alright, keeping up the pressure. And the siege tower's made it to the walls. We're battling for the gateway. And we'll try and take this far western side. I do have other forces pushing to the other three gateways. There's 4 in Constantinople. Okay, so we're doing well here. We have captured the gates officially. And we're still slowly but surely pushing on this left-hand side. We don't even need that additional siege equipment there. Okay, centrally now with the other army. They're now in. They're dealing with the crossbowmen. I'm going to get my cavalry actually to charge head-on through the gate before spearmen or something block it. There's a couple units there. But the Georgian heavy cavalry is flying through the breach. Now we can initiate the countdown in various areas, hopefully. Yeah, push through, push through. We don't want to get stuck there. Last thing we need. Deal with these lightly armored lower tier peasant crossbowmen. Okay, so up in the far east, we're sending 2 units around to go for the town square. They're copping a little bit of arrow fire as they progress, but we should be able to take Constantinople here today. It's just such a large city to circumnavigate and wrap around. But the Latin banner is being brought down, while the Georgian one is flying high. We should have taken and finished off this gateway now, though. Oh no, we're still battling it out here. They're still contesting it. Okay. Most of the military forces on the walls are now in a full retreat and are fleeing Constantinople. Our 2 spearmen are pushing towards the city square. A lot of peasants, women and children holding back there. But we're about to get the capture point. It's a weird angle. Okay. It's kind of cool. The architecture and city design of this. It's really quite a beautiful courtyard, isn't it? Anyway, we're going to cap it. And we'll try cap the other one as well. Okay, I was wondering why they haven't capitulated yet, but there's a spear unit hiding here. A general unit. So what we'll do is we'll just send in the cavalry to charge it. So even though they're bunkered down there, they've set up a shield wall in like a 4 position. We'll just try and charge it head on. They're also like menacing spears as well. They're quite large. We'll charge in. We'll hit them flat foot and see how we go. Slamming! Alright, hopefully that's the last of them. Yeah, not much you can do about a heavy cavalry charge. A lot of them don't seem to be getting back up. Surely that must be it. Yep, she's all over Red Rover. The Georgians have been victorious here today. a decisive victory in taking the city of Constantinople. 322 lost, and we destroyed the garrison. Cavalry did really well, pushing through against those crossbows and then defeating that spear unit towards the end. I thought my archers did a lot better than I thought, but not overly impressive. Infantry carried. But now, we've hit the challenge of taking Constantinople, bringing back orthodoxy rule from the city. We could even sort of make this as my major base of operations. Alrighty, so we've wrapped up the objective and the challenge for today's video, and as such, we're going to wrap up the video. Alright, so we'll go through what I currently occupy and how things stand diplomacy and alliance-wise. But we've got Constantinople. We're currently strength ranked 4, definitely the most powerful orthodoxy in the east. The Ayyubids are first, but we've still got an alliance with Trebizond, Antioch, Cyprus. We control most of Anatolia, the Caucasus, and the Crimea. And now we have Constantinople, which is the cherry on top. But yeah, I had a lot of problems with like unrest. I've still got a lot of unrest problems in my territory, which was a bit of a pain and slowed things down a lot in this series. But yeah, I just thought I'd let you guys know that if you do go on and play your Georgia campaign, be very, very careful about religious and public order unrest problems. Unfortunately, guys, it is time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already with the bell notification on. Let me know in the comment section down below feedback and suggestions for the video, and feel free to leave a dislike. If you want to support the channel and follow me on my social media links, they are all linked in the description below. We've got the series playlist that you can access. You can also have a look at my gaming and recording equipment. If you want to get yourself some cheap games, check out the links. You can support me on Patreon if you want. Channel members are available. Use creator code SimpzyTotalWar on the Epic Games Store checkout to flick me a couple of bucks. We've got Twitter, Discord, merchandise, Facebook, Steam group, Instagram, Twitch, and Google Plus links all in the description below as well. But above all, guys, make sure to take care of yourselves. Have a fantastic rest of your day. My name has been Simpzy. Much love from Australia. Goodbye. Mwah.